Hello there, welcome to 7 at 7, where we settle into stillness for 7 minutes at 7 p.m. My name's Naomi Toland, and let's take a big deep breath in. Again, another deep breath in. Release. Bring in a bit of movement into your neck if you feel like that's right. Just giving yourself a time for you. And so we're going to focus on do it scared. What will it be like? What will they say? Meeting new people, doing new things each day. Everything I'm doing is like entering the unknown. Normally I like challenge, but even this is out of my comfort zone. Before the event, my mind is plotting schemes, but as soon as I start, it's not as bad as it seems. So I'm telling myself, do it scared. And straight after, you'll be wondering why you even cared. The more I'm exploring these unknown places, the more I'm getting comfortable when my mind goes to the races. If I feel some worry, then that's okay. Take a moment, breathe, trust. Keep moving through, come what may. And I wrote this poem whenever I'd first sold everything in New Zealand. I was left with one bag on my back and 3 boxes in storage. And my whole life had changed. Job, relationship, all gone. And I'd landed in Bali with a one-way ticket and didn't know what the next step would look like. And I was petrified, terrified, all those things, because I didn't have a clue where my life was going. Didn't have a clue what I was going to be doing next. And the more I did things, I was like, should I just get a plane back home? But home hadn't been home for 13 years. So to be honest, in the world, I didn't know where I stood. Didn't know what was up, what was down. And so every day I felt like I was doing it scared. And that's when that poem came through. And it stood to me ever since. Every minute that I had those first step fears, I was saying to myself, do it scared. You can do it. And then it says, you'll be wondering why you cared. Because our mind gets so overactive towards all the worst case scenarios. And the video yesterday cut off and because of memory. So it's almost like a 2-part version of that, because yesterday was you being you and now it's do it scared. Because it does take, in a world that we live in, it's easier to have the mask on. It's easier to just get your head down, not show who you are, not take that first step fear. But what I didn't say at the end of that video yesterday, if you haven't watched it, you can go back and watch it, is it talked about the idea of trading, exchanging energies or exchanging gifts or exchanging work that you do with people. The more that you be you, the more you do things scary that actually are about you, the more you can interact with people from a place of, this is who I am, this is how I can show up, this is how I can learn from you and you can learn from me. This is what I can bring to the table. And a lot of times we're hiding things that are needed in the world because we're just trying to conform and get on with the systems that are right now. But the systems that we have right now aren't working for so many people. And so it requires us to have that creativity. It requires us to bring more into the world that we can be by us being us. And so doing it scared is the idea of, if it's not what people normally think, how might you bring your idea to life and share it? If it's not what people normally think, how might you share it with maybe someone who you're close with to begin with, and do it scared? So yeah, that's where that comes from. And the card that we have is summer. And I know we're not technically in summer yet if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, but it says bask in joy and light. Let's take a big deep breath in. Bask in joy and light. Before we find out what that card is, we're going to do the book first. And I haven't actually just realised I haven't chosen a page, so let's just open and see where we end up at. It says water is an uncanny mirror. Or mirror, if I was going to say it without trying to make you understand it. Water is an uncanny mirror. One experiences this in Connemara because it is full of lakes. It is only when you climb the mountains there that you see this landscape of mirrors shining back up at you. That's a good one. I actually didn't choose one today. Just opened up the page, and that mirror idea is that whenever you look in the mirror, do you recognize who you see? And whenever I was in New Zealand and I had all those changes happen to me, my biggest shock, whenever all the things unfolded, was how much I'd lost myself. How much I'd come away from who I was. Not knowing that I thought I was living a life that I actually wanted, but I wasn't. I was living a life that I thought other people wanted me to live, or what I always thought success was. I had this and that and check and check and check. But I was so lost for myself. And that's where the biggest shock was for me, was finding a way back to myself again after being lost for so long. Probably why I'm so passionate about this idea of how do we connect with ourselves emotionally, seeing what's coming up. Because the more we deny ourselves, that's where the migraines were coming from. That's where the rashes were coming from. I wasn't saying half the stuff that needed said. And the world crashed down around me, so I had to start saying it. So I suppose I'm creating this space is so that maybe people have to go through the crash to realise that there's other ways of being. But is there any way that we can make those small little moments, settle in the stillness, hearing ourselves before those big crashes happen in life? So, summer. Bask in joy and light. Let's take a breath in. Rise up, open your wings and shine. Bring your projects and plans out into the light, into manifestation. Summer has always been recognised as a time for joy, for going on adventures and making memories. Flowers are in full bloom, animals enjoying the freedom of the wild summer days and nights. And so, obviously we're coming to the end of the session, so the idea is that how do we be ourselves, you be you, do it scared, and actually show up as who you are. Because it is scary, but it's also so much freer. And it allows other people to find you who actually are people who you can get on with, are people who connect with you, are people who are, instead of you lying to the world around you. And it's a big question to ask. So I think that's why it starts with those little mini moments of stillness. How can you show up in one little way today as yourself? Like I said about that weirdness yesterday. What's one little weird thing that you maybe are afraid to share with other people? Each to their own. Let's take one final breath in. And release. Song of all. Bye for now.